own their craft, show off their their latest transition or their latest new music that they've found, and our community socials, just like this one. Products-wise, upcoming, we have been doing the Just Streaming sessions and playlists, so we try to feature, if you guys have a mix, we love to feature that on there. We currently have that every week coming out. And we got merch coming out too, so right now I'm wearing the Just Streaming new. Check. Can we turn the echo down on the karaoke mic? No? Yeah. If not, it's fine. All right, and other things that we have upcoming is we're planning on booking more DJs for more gigs. Opening for certain artists. We try to level up everyone in that sense. And artist management, promotion, and discounted concerts and meetups. So you guys will get cheaper tickets for upcoming events that we work with our different partners.
Who are the partners, bro?
Leah, do you want to take on this one?
It's DNR and Electric Escape.
Yeah, essentially right now we have DNR and Electric Escape in the works, and hopefully more in the future.
We will.
We will.
Yeah.
All right, and right now I will pass it off to Stranjah for our first speaker introduction.
Woo! Yeah!
Yeah, your slides are up. Your slides are there. Yeah, yep. Next slide.
Should I?
Bye, Heather.
Check 1 2 2 2. Hey, check 1 2. Oh, check 1 2. Up a little bit.
Check 1 2. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think that's good. Thanks.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you, Just Streaming, for having me speak to you guys today. My name is Alan. I'm known as Stranjah in the music community, in the drum and bass community.
Yeah.
I've been coming to Just Streaming's events for a couple months now, and one of the things I noticed about you guys that I really like is that you guys help each other out. You guys got community, and you guys support each other. And I think that's really awesome. I think you guys should definitely keep that up. So definitely give yourselves a hand of applause. Raise your hand up if you've been DJing for just a year. How about a year or more? A year or more? Okay. Leave your hand up if you've been DJing at least 2 years. Okay. How about leave your hand up if you've been DJing more than 3 years? All right. Okay. Whoa. Got a little mix here. Okay, you can put your hands down. Raise your hands up if you want to take DJing to the next level professionally, but you don't know how. Okay, there's quite a number of you, and to tell you the truth, I felt the same way when I was starting music. I had a lot of passion for writing music and just wanted to learn everything, but I didn't know how to take that passion to the next level and just put myself out there professionally. So a little bit about myself. By the way, my presentation today is called Mindset for Success. So I'm going to be telling you guys a bit about my journey and a bit of what has helped me along the way over the years. Message for someone?
Don't worry about it.
So, who am I? My name is Stranjah. I've been producing since 1996.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth pairing.
Check. So I've been producing since 1996. Shortly after I came out of my mother's womb.
Other way.
Messed up the slides here. Sorry, guys. And when I got into music early in the 90s, it was still something very new, and there wasn't a lot of people making electronic music. So it wasn't very easy to get into because the resources weren't really there, and it was just hard to meet people that made this music. So it was really hard to get into it, but during that time, it was pre-internet days, and we had these things called BBS, which is kind of like local internet communities. Little small, think of these small little internet communities where each community had a different kind of interest. So there was like BBS for cats, for dog lovers, and then there was this BBS called The Club, which was a community, a local community of people that loved dance music and wanted to produce or DJ. So I found this community in Toronto, The Club. It was a pre-internet community that you dialed up with your modem. Think about it. Yeah, you dialed up into your modem and you connect with this community and you would meet like fellow producers or DJs in Toronto. And that was my first entry into the electronic music community. That's where I met some of my first mentors in the music, where I first got my first software in making electronic music. I started making music on something called Fast Tracker, which is this little software at the bottom right. Super basic software. Think of this, you're limited to 8 sounds, and you would have to make the most of every sound to make that tune. And unlike traditional music software today, where everything looks nice, you can write notes here and there, Fast Tracker, you had to code everything. You see all those little numbers? Those are hexadecimals, and each one of those, each one of those like little codes represented a beat. So like E6 meant that there's a kick drum there, and there'll be another kick drum following. So that's crazy. So back then, it really allowed me to learn how to make music from the ground up. Right? Today, a lot of things are spoon-fed. You have the sample packs, everything's done for you. But early in those days, it really gave you a rudimentary understanding of producing and making music. Everything had to be done from scratch, from creating your samples, from creating filter sweeps and whatnot. And it definitely gave me a really deep appreciation for music. And so I was working on music probably 8 to 12 hours a day, every day in my parents' basement, and definitely made them go crazy for many, many years. But definitely shouts out to my parents for supporting me, because otherwise I wouldn't be here today. So I started making music in '96, and in '99, shortly after, I got my first signing to a major UK label. In 1999, that's when the internet started to start surfacing, and finally I was able to meet people around the world that was into drum and bass music, and then I found a record label in the UK, and I met the assistant to a label there, and I was like, I love this drum and bass music. How do I work with you guys, right? And he's like, well, you can send us a demo CD. So yeah, so I made some music. Actually burnt the music on CDs. I don't know if you guys heard of CDs. They're these little discs where you can play music on. Yeah. I had to actually burn the CD, put it into an envelope. Get that? Post office. Nail it! Yeah. Nail it! And send it all over to the UK. And then a week after they received the CD and they heard the music, they're like, oh, this is amazing, Alan. We love your music. We've never heard anything like this. A Canadian making drum and bass. That was unheard of at that time, because drum and bass was really a UK thing at the time. So they loved my music. Short story, they signed me and they put out my first record in 1999. Woo! Thank you. And one thing I love about electronic music and when I first discovered it in 1996, I learned about the local community, is that I felt like I finally found something that I could belong to. And in high school, I always felt like kind of like an outsider. I didn't really belong. I had my own interests. I kind of just did my own thing. But when I found this music culture, I felt like finally I found something that I belong to, something that I'm into, that I have passion about, right? And it gave me a sense of purpose. It's like finally I found something I wanted to do in life, which is making music. So that's one of the key words for my mindset today is finding purpose, right? Be very, very intent about what you want to do. When I discovered this music, I was like, this is all I wanted to do. I just want to make music and put myself out there. And that was my purpose. And having a purpose, you're going to get passion and drive, right? So make sure you have purpose when you're in this music, because we do this because we love this, right? So that's one thing I love about being part of the music culture is being part of the community. And that's one great thing that you guys have, is that you guys have a community. So definitely keep that up.
It's not you guys, it's we now. You're part of us.
Awesome.
Maybe the oldest member we have.
Hey, I started when I was in my mother's womb. No, it's one of my first records signed in second EP actually. This came out in 2000. Hospital Records put out an EP a number of years ago called The Future Sound of Canada. They wanted to do a showcase on the sounds of drum and bass in Canada, so very proud of that album. This was a photo of me somewhere in the background, but this was at the Red Bull Music Academy in 2006. So unfortunately, Red Bull Music Academy is no longer happening, but it was a crazy event. So every year, we call it the RBMA. It's held in a different city. One time it was in Tokyo, in South Africa, in Japan, England. The time when I went, it was in Seattle. And the way Red Bull Music Academy worked was that every year they selected 20 participants to come and attend. And you had to apply, and you had to tell them about yourself, why you're unique as an artist, why you want to come to the RBMA, and send us your demo. And fortunately, they selected me, and I have to say it was one of the best and most life-changing experiences I've ever had, just learning from each other, from other music producers around the world. And then that's a really big thing with music production is learning to collaborate, right? So that's another key word, collaborate. Meeting other music producers. We all come from different walks of life. We all have different approaches to music and different understandings with music, and it's really important to learn from each other. I kind of look at it like travel. The more you travel, the more seasoned you become, the more perspective you gain, right? So the more we can learn from each other, the more we can grow, the bigger our awareness expands, and the better music that you can make. So make sure to collaborate and learn from each other. Okay. Also, another key word is to have humility, right? As good as you are, there's always someone that can bring something new to the table, a new idea, a new approach, right? So having humility, you open yourself to learning. Never think you're better than anyone else, because you can always learn from each other. Any person that you meet, I always try to adopt that mindset. It's like, what can I learn from this person? Because if you adopt that mindset, then you're going to grow and grow and grow. So definitely have humility, collaborate with others, and you'll learn. And now, I shifted my career quite recently. About 4 years ago, I started my YouTube channel where I teach music production. My mission is to demystify music production so the next generation can learn music. My goal is to make it so that anyone that wants to learn music production can learn. And when I started, when I got into music, I was always the guy that people came to that wanted to learn how to make music, right? I was kind of the go-to guy. And so a couple of years ago, a good friend of mine suggested, hey Alan, why don't you try this YouTube thing? You've always been really good at teaching, right? And at first I was kind of resistant to the idea because I was really focused on just making music, and I knew that just creating content in YouTube would take up a lot of my time. But you know, I listened to his advice. I made a few videos on YouTube. It was very slow at first. It definitely took a little while to gain my first 1,000 subscribers. But I just kept at it, and eventually it grew and grew, and now I have this amazing channel and business where I teach music production, and I have a sample and preset pack company. And one of the things is in this industry is you got to be open to opportunities, right? So I was kind of resistant to the idea of doing YouTube because I wanted to keep just focus on my own artistic career. But sometimes you have to be open to opportunities that present itself, because this journey in music production as a career is not always a straight line. It could be a winding road, right? And being open to opportunities, you just open yourself to what's available, because although it's a winding road, although you want to go here, right? And if you're open to it, going this way might actually get you there faster, right? So to make this a little more practical, now that I have a bigger audience through YouTube, now when I make music, I have a bigger audience to showcase that music to, right? So definitely be open to opportunities that come present themselves to you. It might not be exactly what you want, but it could open the door to other opportunities that will help you achieve your goals. Right? Other things I learned through this journey is just being persistent, right? Just keeping at it, keep learning, keep working on your craft. A lot of the people that come to my channel that learn about me through my channel think that it was an overnight success, but what they don't see is the years that I've been working on myself, my production, my techniques, learning about marketing, learning about communication, negotiation, all that stuff over the years culminated into this moment where I was able to reach that tipping point and then make this path my full-time career. So definitely be persistent, don't give up. You might feel like you're hitting a brick wall, whether it's in terms of technically you're making music, you're not getting the results you want, or maybe you're not getting the gigs that you want yet. Just keep at it and be persistent, because if you keep at it, eventually you're going to get there. And another thing, having gratitude, right? So when I was doing this YouTube thing, early on I met one of my friends who came from England, and she was telling me about how all the people in her circle just were having such a hard time just progressing with their careers and finding work. But she came over from London quite recently and just found a job quite immediately. And I asked her, what was your secret? How did you make that happen so fast? And she told me, you know what, Alan? I just practice gratitude, being thankful for every opportunity, for everything that presents itself. She was like, I was just thankful for even being able to send my resume to this person, right? Even though I didn't get that job, just being gratitude. I believe it just opens yourself to receive more, right? And opens yourself to opportunities, right? So being gratitude for any opportunity, anything that you have, even just being in gratitude for having a house over your head so you can work on your craft, right? So my overnight success was years in the making. Why am I telling you all this? Well, we talked about that. Just keep working on it. It takes time. And this is when I reached my 100K subscribers. Got my back in December. My friend Jack over there with Fade as well. Shuts up. But this was a fun event. Had a little celebration. And yeah, if I can do it, you guys can too. So definitely keep at it. This photo, I'm not sure if I'm constipated or
I'm drinking down my mug.
yeah, either constipated or there's a lot of passion here. But I'm seeing a passion. But yeah, just to summarize about the mindset I talked about today, find purpose in what you do, because when you have purpose, then purpose leads to passion and drive, right? And whoever has the most passion and drive will get the furthest ahead. So definitely find that purpose in what you do. Having patience, right? Because it takes time to get there. Rome wasn't built a day. All those years of work eventually will culminate if you keep at it. So be patient, be persistent, of course have humility, learn from others, right? Collaborate with others is the best way to learn. The other day, a friend of mine just came over in his studio and he showed me some tricks on Ableton. I said, wow, you can actually do that. So even to this day, I'm still learning. And yeah, be open to opportunities and keep learning. So yeah, that's pretty much my presentation. Hopefully that was some inspiration and encouragement for you guys in your personal journeys. And yeah, just keep at it. And honestly, if I can do it, I believe you guys can too. So if you guys have any questions or answers, feel free. I'll open up the table for you guys. Yep.
Thank you for the presentation. I think it was really insightful. I think one question is, you've been in the industry for so long,
Yeah.
and you have so much years of experience. What is one thing or concept or theme that never changes?
Learning. Learning is, this journey is all about learning. And that's the biggest thing, is that this journey is about self-improvement, right? It's not just about the technical skills, it's just you improving as a person, whether it's improving your communication, your team working skills, your humility. There's always something to learn in this journey, and that's what has kept me going for so many years and has kept me relevant for so many years, is that I feel like I'm a student of life, and that's the way to go. Sure.
Yeah, so like, amazing mindset. How did you come with it? So like, were you taught by mentors, or did you kind of find it yourself in a way that you just kept to yourself, or?
Yeah, I mean, I have many mentors in life, just having the right people in my life that put me in the right direction. Just life in itself sometimes is the best teacher, right? Life comes with a lot of obstacles and challenges, and those are the best ways to learn, right?
What are some practical tactics that you've used in the past to deal with failure or getting yourself on the
It's realizing as much as sometimes we're the worst critic when things don't go our own way, and I think you just gotta just dust that off and just keep going, because that's really it. I know it just sounds basic, but you just got to get back on your 2 feet and just keep going. Again, every failure is an opportunity to learn something, right? So yeah, maybe you made a mistake here, maybe you fumbled that mix there. What can you learn from that situation, right? So there you go.
How would you suggest someone to encounter their bottlenecks? Like, I'm sure you've probably come around a lot of them, being stuck in an idea or like struggling to promote an event, any aspect, any kind of bottleneck.
I mean, persistent thing comes to mind at first. But also, if you keep doing the same thing and you're getting the same result, it might mean trying something different, right? And for example, you might be making a certain style. You really want to make that style of music, but for some odd reason you're just not getting it anywhere with it. Maybe try a different style. Maybe tweak it at something different. Look at the music from a different approach. Right? Yeah.
Okay, so you've been in the street for a while, but what are your like goals other than like growing from other people?
I want to reach as much people with my music, as much people as possible, because I love music and I just want to get that music out into the world. I think music is a beautiful thing because it brings people together and it's very healing, and I think it's one of the things that will help save the world. So.
I hear the drum bass. Isn't that big like that?
Oh, okay. Good part. I didn't get to that story. So in junior high, my one of my friends came over one day and he's like, "Alan, you won't believe it. Last night I went to this party, and it was in a parking lot, and there was like hundreds of people, and they were dressed so cool and funny. They had these wide baggy pants." And the music was so underground, and there was this DJ, and we were dancing until 6 a.m. I was like, this is cool. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was like, crazy. Tell me more. I want this. I want this. What is this? It's like, it's called a rave, and they call it house music. House music. Yeah, house music. I was like, yeah. I was like, what is this house music? And he gave me this compilation CD. It's called Warehouse Grooves. I think I had a picture of it earlier. But this CD called Warehouse Grooves, it had like the biggest underground house songs in the 90s. And I was like, man, this music is just, this was the CD. It changed my life. Some classics on there. But yeah, this CD just blew me away. It's like, this sound is so underground. It was just so out of so foreign, because at that time I was into just pop music. I was listening to Mariah Carey, Ace of Base, Eurodance. So when this house music came on, it was so underground, it was so raw. I was like, I want more of this.
Underground house music?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Isn't that yeah. Underground house music. But I was like, man, this stuff is crazy. I was like, I'm gonna learn how to make this music, because at that time I've always wanted to do something big with my life. I wanted to sing, I wanted to be a basketball player or be an astronaut, but those things didn't work out. But I was always good with with computers and video games. So when he told me about this electronic music, and I heard it was made with computers, I was like, I think I can do this, right? So that's how I started. I started actually making house music, and then a couple of years later, I heard about this drum and bass thing. Like they were playing one or two drum and bass songs on the radio. This was like in 1999, when drum and bass was starting to get a lot of buzz. There was this artist named Goldie, and Goldie was featured on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. And so I was reading this. I was saying, you're just talking about this jungle drum and bass music that's happening in the UK. It had this kind of like this punk rock feel, and it was just really rebel music. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And so I bought my first like jungle drum and bass CD. And at first, when I put on that CD, I was like, man, I can't listen to that. That's devil's music. It was just too much. It was just too much. I was like, I can't listen to that. And then a week after, I kind of just gathered my courage. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put that CD on. I put it on. I was like, oh my God, this stuff is absolutely mental. And then I was like, I need to do this music. And then that was how I got into drum and bass.
Yeah, let's go.
Any other questions?
Are there any artists now that you kind of take inspiration from?
So many artists. I was recently looking at the story about John Summit and how he blew up. Daddy Summit! And super inspirational. I know his music is a little bit more mainstream, but it's more his story that has inspired me about how he kind of built his success from the ground up. And that kind of story is really inspiring. I listen to a lot of drum and bass, obviously, a lot of UK garage. I can't really give you names because I go more for tunes than artists. So, yeah. I mean, Fred again has done some cool stuff. I like his stuff. Man, there's just so many artists. I'm trying to think, but it's hard to think. I'll just play some tracks tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you like find your like unique sound?
It's just over the years of working when you'll find, it's more like through music production, you'll find certain approaches and techniques that you gravitate to, and techniques then have a certain sound, right? There's also sounds you just gravitate more to, right? I love like minor triads, and I love like pitched up R&B vocals, and I love 808s, and I love breakbeats, right? So you just gravitate to sounds that you like, and then you kind of develop your own technique and style. Yeah.
So for talk about education part,
Yeah.
like the learning process. But I feel like there's like as you're learning that at one point you listen to music and like that's shit, right? So I'm curious, was there any breaking point like that for you, and what would you say are some of the secret sauce to making from like, oh, this sounds cool to like this is it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times it's just trial and error and just working on it like day in, day out. I'll work on 100 ideas, and then one of them will have that feeling, right? So you never know when you'll run into that idea, and sometimes I just call it, it just comes from the sky, and it's given to you, kind of thing. Sometimes I'm in the studio and you just feel that groove and everything. It's like the song writes itself. You're not writing the song, you're just a conduit for that inspiration, right? And that you just let it out that way.
Yeah. So just trial and error. Basically.
Yeah. Just keep at it. Yeah.
A chef.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any more? We good? Okay. Last question? No more? Okay. All right, thank you guys.
Let's give a
Thank you.
round of applause to Alan. And again, if you guys have more questions for Alan, feel free to hit him up after the keynotes when we're doing open decks. I'm sure he'll be happy to answer any more questions. And now we're gonna have Raph, Larry on over here to give us the second part of this keynote.
Give it up for Stranjah one more time, that was so sick. We have a lot of people standing. Do you guys want to get chairs and stuff? You guys feel like, yeah, get some chairs. Yeah, take them over.
You want it?
No. Wait, can I get a glass of water?